The new channel. See the new. The new channel. See the new. The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following show are those of the hosts, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the new channel, here to help you see the new you. My name is Bob, and this is the Fort Project. Hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Fourth Project, where we talk about money, business, and life tonight, right here on TNT. My name is Bob, your host, and welcome to another edition or episode, or episode and show this evening. It's a beautiful Wednesday night, July 15, 2020. Good evening, right here in Dubai, UAE, and of course, also good evening back home in the Philippines, and wherever you are in the world. Hello to you. Thanks a lot for stopping by here on the page of TNC. Now, first things first tonight, give us some love right here on the comment section down below as we go along with the show with my guest this evening. And you can like us, you can follow us right here on the new channel Facebook page. We're broadcasting live from the Fort Project studio right here in Dubai, UAE. This is the third episode of the show. This is the newest baby show of TNC. And again, I would like to welcome everyone and hello to each and every one of you who's watching on the episode tonight. All right. Now, another exciting guest, another exciting episode all the way from Dubai, UAE. She's an artist. But before we get into the more details about my guest, all right, I'd like to say hello to Tito Melo, our sound engineer, and of course, Tita Dot Dot. Hello to you. Thanks a lot for helping us right here on the Ford Project. Also, you can share this Facebook broadcast, this live broadcast, to your friends and family members this evening. Now, before we usually get our guest tonight, I'd like to give you a short story. All right. Now, this happens, I think, in UK. There's a big fat lady. That's how they actually write the story. There's a big fat lady na mamamalengke. All right. Now, one day, nakita niya from the second floor, doon sa kabilang kanto, nasusunog yung second floor. So, hawak-hawak nung nana yung mga 2 years old na na anak. Okay, so she's trying to actually get it outside para hindi ma-suffocate sa usok. So it's a chaos. So susunog yung second floor, daming apoy, daming usok. So dangling yung baby, hawak nung nanay. And then finally, nabitawan na nung nanay yung baby, 2 years old, hoping na sana may sumambot. So the old fat lady or the big fat lady, from one corner to another, tinakbo niya, binitawan niya yung bayong niya, tinakbo niya. Okay? Tapos nasambot niya. And then it got actually news. So, kumbaga parang nag-trending siya. All over UK, radio news, TV news, different news agency na sinasabi na the big fat lady saves the infant from dying, falling on the burning second story building. Okay. And then, of course, here we go. As we have in the world nowadays, we have haters and bashers. Alright? So sabi nila, parang hindi naman yata totoo, parang imposible yung size na ganyan, yung big fat lady na ganyan, masasambot yung bata, tatakbo from one kanto to another para sabutin. Parang hindi naman yata. So what they did is may mga fitness coach, may mga athlete na sinimulate, okay, sinimulate yung pangyayari. So ginagawa nila from doon sa kanto, sa kabila, tatakbo yung mga athlete, ilalaglag nila yung parang dummy or manikin na baby. They've been doing that for a good one whole week. Walang nakakasambot. Okay? Walang nakakasambot. Ang nangyayari na unang malaglag yung dami na baby and then saka pa lang darating yung tumakbo na mga athlete. These are athletes, take note. One day, the big fat lady dumaan. Coach, anong ginagawa nyo? Sinisimulate namin yung yung ginawa mong kabayanihan kasi para imposible daw. Maraming mga hindi naniniwala na totoo ba na nasambot mo yung baby. Sabi ganun. Sabi niya, ilang araw na kami, isang linggo na, walang nakakasambot. Sabi niya, ganun ba coach? Hindi niyo talaga masasambot yan, sabi ng big fat lady. Sabi niya, bakit? Bukas na bukas din. Yung mga anak niyan, yan ang ipaglalaglag niyo dyan sa second floor. Tingnan ko lang kung di nila masambot yan. Sabi ng big fat lady. Moral lesson of the story is kapag buhay ang nakataya, 'di ba? Lahat siguro yung superhuman strength magagawa mo. So yung sinasabing when you enter entrepreneurship and when you enter business, transitioning from an employee to business, PKP. Yung kasabihan namin, patay kung patay. All right. Now, that story very much somehow shows the struggle and her own life story here in Dubai when she started back in the day. Hindi pa naman ganun katanda yung guest ko, but she's been here long enough to know the ins and outs of Dubai, UAE. And before that, let me say hello and hi to the first respondent, the first viewers that we have on the comment section down below. Roger Bell, hello to you. Congratulations to Ella Dao, Orencillo. So proud of you. Again, to Tito Melo. Hello to you guys. Thanks a lot for being here on the show. And all right, so there you go, guys. So let me just give you a little bit of a background of my guest this evening. In a male-dominated industry, artist and illustrator, she stands out with her own unique brand of art, part of the Filipino movement that popularized urban art in the UAE. Her work has graced some of the hippest art events in and out of the country. She's now the owner of Craftology, and of course, she happens to be one of the most influential Filipinos in the Gulf by Ilustrado magazine. Please welcome on the show, Miss Ella Orencillo. Wow! Clap, 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 clap. Diba?
Good
Ang
evening.
galing-galing. Ella, good evening. Welcome to the
Thank you.
show. How is everything?
Good evening, Mom. Nice to talk to you again. It's been a while.
Yeah, been a while.
Uh,
Right?
two
How
years?
many years?
Almost?
2 years? Two
Almost two
years or
years.
almost two
Almost.
years? Wow, it's been a while. All
Yeah.
right. So, how have you been since the lockdown, the pandemic? It's been what, 60 days or more?
More
More
than,
than 60 days.
more than, because I went home. I went back home for a while for 2 weeks, and then I came back here March 15, I think 14 or 15. And then that's when things started to go crazy. so
Right.
um so from March, I think from March 18, started working from home for 3 months, March, April, May, June. Yeah. And then I started, and then I worked back at level June 19. So like exactly 3 months of staying inside my house, doing work, doing everything inside the house for
That's
3 months.
90 days. 90
Yeah.
days at home. Wow, that's really good for you. And so uh before the pandemic, what's your typical day like on a weekly basis, on a daily basis? So work through us the routine.
Oh, before all of this happened, I have a very busy day, like every single day. So I'm at Level Shoes every day. I work there from 3 to 8 p.m. But if I am not at Level Shoes, I have work outside. I do murals or I do events. So sometimes I get 2 to 3 events in one day, like the
Wow.
most during peak season. Like I work in the morning and then I work at level and then I work after level some events. And if I'm at that level, I'm doing murals outside, so I have an assistant that sits for me at level, just doing the work there. So I don't really have a day off. I'm being an entrepreneur and doing this full time. I don't really have a day off. So it's a 7 day, 24/7. It's a 24/7 day job. 24/7 job.
Wow, that's talking about hustle and grind. All right, and for a
Mm-mm.
female and for a Filipino, that's really really competitive right here in Dubai, UAE. And there's a lot of artists,
Mm-mm.
not just here but all over the world. But it's nice that you actually one of the flag bearers of the Philippines in the Ilustrado magazine. You're the top what 300. You're included there, right?
Mm-mm. Yeah. Mhm. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So every day it's work like you said 24/7
Yeah.
days
Mm-mm.
24 hours 7 days a week, and you don't have a boss. You work pretty much depending on your time and schedule and the commitment. But uh when did you found out about Dubai, that okay, there's a Dubai country or state in the Middle East, I'm gonna go there?
I've known Dubai for quite a while because my uncles used to work here in the 90s. I have an uncle, the eldest of all the siblings. He used to work here in the 90s. Burj Al Arab is not even there at that time. So I've known Dubai since I was little because I have a couple of uncles that was working here at that time. And sometime 2006, I think, or maybe 2005, my colleagues in the Philippines was recruited directly from the Philippines to go here in Dubai. And then after a couple of years, they invited me to come here as well. So
And this was
I've
back in
never even imagined.
2007.
I'm sorry,
This is back in 2000
2008,
wow, 2008. You've been here
12
uh,
years,
12 years, 12 long years. All right,
more than
congratulations to
12
both of
years.
us. More than 12 years.
Yeah,
So, of course, so you're direct hire from the Philippines, and you did
yes.
not start it out as an artist, right? But the first job, the first few years, what do you usually? I mean, what did you do before being an artist?
I actually worked as an artist for a year when I was here. When I came here, I worked as a muralist slash admin assistant, and we do work for mural works for villas, for private establishments. I worked there for a year with my colleagues in the Philippines who I was working with here as well. And then after a year, it was during the recession period. 2008 was really bad for the economy back then. And I resigned 2009. I quit my job before the company closed down. And then I worked as an assistant, as admin assistant, secretary, and then personal assistant from 2009 until 2017. So for 9 years, I worked in a corporate world.
So like a typical behind the desk office type thing,
Yeah,
right?
nine
But
to six job, 1 hour break.
I mean, what is your course during college years?
I was an AB psychology major.
So, okay, kids, okay, this goes to show na ang buhay hindi linya-linya, no, 'di ba? What this is what you usually hear from people, 'di ba, na ay hindi ko kasi linya 'yan, 'di ba?
Yeah.
So BS psychology, typically dapat ang mangyayari sa is clinical, or I mean hospital ba, or paano ba dapat pag BS psychology o guidance
No, I was
counseling?
AB. AB psychology actually. AB psychology is different from BS psychology. So AB psychology normally would go into the direction of being a HR manager or in the
Ah,
recruitment area,
okay. So
recruitment
dapat
department.
doon. And then of
Yeah,
course, but okay, this you got the talent from the mom side or the dad side?
both.
Pareho silang gumuguhit, nagdo-drawing sila pareho.
Yeah.
Ang galing. So talagang yung offspring, yung produkto, which is ikaw, walang duda, 'di ba? Walang duda na talagang mahilig na gumuhit, okay. So, so sabi mo nga kanina, 'di ba, 8 years and 9 years ba? I mean, until 2017 behind the desk.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
but you're working there and you have a little bit of a background kahit sa Pilipinas pa lang ng mga murals pala.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, contacts. How did you find out that okay, there's a community at least, 'di ba,
Mm-hmm.
in Dubai na mga artist
Mm-hmm.
pala, na mga nagmo-mural. How did
Mm-hmm.
you get in touch with him and paano nangyari yung napasok ka na sa community na yun?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. It started when I was behind this desk sa office because there are days that you don't really do much in the office, no? And that's when I remember multiply days before Facebook and during the times that Friendster was almost over. So most of the people in Dubai are on multiply, and then I started finding out about the artists here, the photographers here in Dubai, and that was sometime 2010. But when I started working as a receptionist back then, that's also the time that I started to paint because I miss drawing, because that's the time that I started that art is really my passion when I don't do that as a job anymore. So I started to paint after work, and then I just started posting it on Multiply. And then eventually, you get connected with people in the scene here. And then I got invited on my very first exhibition here in 2010. And that's where it all started. Like I started meeting the Filipino community of artists here, started meeting Roland Rodriguez, who's the pioneer, one of the pioneer Filipino pioneers of the urban art scene in Dubai, and Brown Monkeys as well. So all these Filipino artists, that I didn't even know before because I'm not I don't really go out that much. What I just do is just paint at home and then just post it on social media, which is Multiply at that time. And then when I joined the exhibition, that's when I found out about the community here and then the people here, not just the Filipino artists, but also at that time there's a lot of Peruvian artists here, like British, American, or Canadian artists here back in the day.
Right. Now, of course, during those days, hindi pa, kumbaga, this is just a hobby. You don't
Hmm.
actually think of it as a career and to
No.
monetize actually this. But okay, I love to paint. I love to
Yeah.
draw. So I'm gonna just do this maybe on a side hustle, paiksi exhibition lang while keeping a
Mm-mm.
day job, right?
Yes.
Now, how important is the network? The network, which means the people that you surround yourself with, or the connections that you actually made during yung mga panahon na yan. Gaano ka importante yan in terms of your career?
Like what you've said, I didn't really think of it when I was starting that I'm gonna make a career out of this. I started doing it because of passion, because that's what my diversion is after work. And then sometime 2012, I started to get like gigs every weekend. Then I get invited by friends like, do you want to join this exhibition? Or do you want to get part-time work on weekends? Um like that's when I realized that I can start making money out of this like every weekend. And like connection, at that time it's not really on my mind to be connected with people. Like I always you of course you make friends when you go to events, and then you get to know people, and then you get it the connection grows. So eventually the amount of people that you know grows as well. From one network, from one people to another. I think that's the power of social media as well. You get connected with people easily as nowadays, and even during that day. So it's very important because um it's a word of mouth, from one person to another. If a person finds out that you do this, and then you get a good feedback, and this will somehow be you get referral out of the job that you do. So connection or network is very important.
Well, we're going to be talking about more a little bit. I mean, more about the attitude, working attitude, a little bit later because
Mm,
last time that's where we really shine. I mean, the conversation, the interview 2 years ago when I was still in radio,
mm,
and I would love to actually talk about that a little bit later on. But if you can still remember,
mm-hmm,
magkakano yung first parang TF sa parang isang gig
mm,
mo na parang
mm,
uy, posible pala to, pwede pala to,
mm,
binayaran ako. Magkakano if
mm.
you still remember that?
2,000 dirhams.
So that's almost 25,000 pesos. What did
Yeah.
you do? Ano yun, parang may bumili lang
uh,
ng isang one piece ng art mo or
uh no, I think um parang it's a small mural. live art that they are gonna use as a backdrop for a show.
And that's
Yeah,
it.
that they're
Isang
gonna turn, yeah, they're gonna turn it down anyway after the event. So
talaga. But you
mm-mm.
did the mural, the drawing, the work for how many hours?
Whole day.
Whole day.
Yeah.
So
I
isang
no,
buong
maybe around 6 7 hours like that.
7 hours, 2,000
Yeah.
dirhams in 7 hours. Not
Mhm.
bad for a
Not
first.
bad. I mean,
Oh,
yeah, it's not bad at all because I wouldn't even think that I'd get that amount of money for 6 7 hour job, you know. And at that time, it's a huge amount of money compared to now, you know.
exactly.
2000
Did,
and yeah,
did
2011
you
or yeah, I think 2011 sometime
did you
2011.
give them the like the price that okay, I'm gonna do this. This is the price, or did they actually just okay, do this? We're gonna give you this amount of money.
Normally, I remember at that point that I started asking out friends who's been doing it for a while on how
Mm,
much do I need to charge because there should be an average price in the market on how much you will charge certain things, you know. And I don't want to go overpriced or underpriced because I don't want to like overestimate or underestimate. I just be on the average, and I think I priced it fairly well at that time,
Now, just
in
to
my
give the
opinion.
viewers, I mean, an idea, because iba po
Mm.
dito sa Dubai, yung iba din na Filipino expats, they're getting 1,500 monthly salary. So for six,
Yes,
seven
yeah,
hours, na 2,000
yes.
dirhams, that's a really big
It's
amount of
it
money. So,
yes, it's a huge amount of money. Yeah.
oo, na sideline na 'di ba na part-time
Yes,
na kinikita mo
yes,
aside kumbaga on top of your monthly salary tas meron kang gano'n. And
yes,
that is just one part-time. Kumbaga that is just one gig, right?
yes.
Okay. This is getting really interesting. Ella, and of course, we're gonna be. I think we're gonna be taking a short break. We'll get to know more about Ella, the transition from unemployed to a full-time artist, when we come back tonight, right here on TNC. Thanks a lot. We're back right here on the Fort Project, where we talk about money, business, and life. My name is Bob, your host tonight, right here on TNC, broadcasting live from Dubai, UAE. Tonight, we're still talking about with to my guest, an artist, an illustrator, Ella Orencillo. Welcome back on the show, kapatid. And of course, let's talk about a little bit. Oh, by the way, before we get back the my guest for tonight, there's a couple of shows. This is an announcement. There's a couple of shows that's going to be airing soon or broadcasting live soon on this beautiful page, TNC. The world premiere is going to be on Monday, July the 20th, 12 noon Philippine time. This is going to be hosted by Dennis Calamba or Calamba. The TNC, The Talk. All right. So interesting title of the show. Wonder what they're going to be discussing on that show. There's also another one. And speaking of shows, we have a ton of show right here on this page, beautiful page. We have the big picture hosted by Mr. Lloyd Luna, and of course the HR. Ang layo talaga. Kailangan ko magsalamin. Mr. Bert and Mike from iBusiness, the broadcasting all the way from Tennessee and all the way from Texas. And then there's me, U-Turn, hosted by sandali ha, ilapit ko na nga sa akin. Okay, Carmine Ortega, and of course the home buyer, hosted by Mr. Dante Salamat. I assume they talk about properties and real estate on the show, and of course the puppet story from Juan Lu, and the next one would be the TNC original and the marketplace. So there's a couple of more shows that are going to be coming soon on this page, so do watch out for that. By the way, tonight again, like I said, an artist, illustrator, another Filipino expat that's actually making a name in the Middle East. All right, again, welcome back on the show, Ella Orencillo, kapatid. So eto na, so this is gonna be exciting part of the show dahil eto na, di ba? How does one start an artist? Or kasi iba yung sayo, no? I mean, ako I used to draw. Dapat ang pinakuhang course sa akin is ano yun, fine arts. So hindi ko rin alam kung saan ang lilinyahin nun. But yung linya nung sa inyo, how does one individual, let's say may viewer tayo from, I don't know, Canada, US, Australia, or Dubai, Middle East na, paano ba ako mag-start? Paano ba? Kasi I know how to draw. Let's say ang specification niya is yun nga sa mga pader, sa mga kisame, or kung saan man siya nagdodraw. How does one start in exposing their self in the world na okay, I have a talent, sino kailangan ng talent ko na pwede kong, 'di ba, provide nito?
Mhm. I think because when I was starting, I didn't really think that one day I'm gonna have my own company. I mean, I later realized that maybe after a couple of years doing that. But in the beginning, I started doing what I do because of passion. I started to paint because I miss painting, I miss murals. Um, and then I just started posting everything on social media. Multiply back then, like what I've mentioned. And you get connected with people who do the same thing as you do, you know? And that's what's really excites me at that time because I'm not really thinking about how I can monetize my talent at that time. But what I'm thinking about is being with like-minded people, you know, because I'd like drawing inspirations from people that likes the same thing that I do. Um, and then I later on realized that by posting all the things that I do on social media and now on Facebook and Instagram, you show people what you are capable of doing. And then that way, people will always. That's why I'm very active on social media because I treat social media as my marketing tool and it's free. You know, I don't have to pay any marketing or advertisement fee. I don't have to pay for any advertising fee just to expose myself. So I just post on Facebook, I just post on Instagram about the things that I do like almost every day. And I'm doing things anyway almost every day. And that's how people started noticing me. And then that's how people started finding out the kind of work that I do. Or even if I started posting small drawings and small paintings. And then whenever I get inquiry to do something, you know, I always challenge myself, even though I don't know or I haven't tried doing it at that time, I'll grab the opportunity to do it because at the same time, I'm gonna learn how to do it, you know. It's a new challenge for me, and then it's a new thing. I'm gonna learn something new and then extra is earning money.
Alam mo, ito yung ano nakakatuwa, Ella, no, na parang sinasabi ng iba or well, it's not always the case kasi na, di ba, follow your dreams or ano yun, parang if you love what you do, the money will automatically follows, no? In some
Yes.
cases, it doesn't happen. It's just that I know a couple of people just like you na they're so lucky na yung passion nila turn into to something na they can start an income, 'di ba? Kumbaga you can get a
Mm-hmm.
revenue from it. It's
Mm-hmm.
another income stream for you. So how many hours a day na alam mo yung lumilipas yung oras na nagdo-drawing ka na minsan parang ay di pa pala ako kumakain but you just love to draw at sobrang mahal na mahal mo yung ginagawa mo. Was there ever a time na nangyari na yung ganun?
Yes, sometime last year. October last year, I remember I was very skinny. I was probably at my lightest weight in couple of years. I remember I weighed around 45, and I'm very small, you know, I'm a very short person, and to weigh 45, and then because I remember at that time, I remember celebrating my birthday, and then I saw my picture, and then I realized how healthy I looked. How unhealthy I looked at that time. Because last year I celebrated my birthday working the whole day, entire day.
Ah,
Um, from the night before.
sa previous
From the
night,
night,
kumbaga kahapon ka pagising, tapos sa
yeah,
lubong ng birthday mo, you were still working,
yeah,
and then the same day ng birthday mo, you're still working, tapos parang, ay,
yes.
birthday ko pala.
And then the following day, I flew to Bahrain.
For another gig.
Yes, because I had a project in Bahrain for 2 months, so I have to fly there to be with my team. So
Wow.
yeah, and then I realized that I haven't eaten a proper meal in days. Like I literally live in coffee and bread. And sometimes I don't even eat the bread anymore. I live with water and coffee alone. And then I was so skinny. I look so unhealthy. And then I realized that it's not right, you know. I mean, it's good that there's a lot of jobs, but I remember the night before my birthday, I was in a hotel because I was doing some painting, and then went home at 5 a.m. and then had to sleep for a couple of hours, and then I woke up at 9. So I went home no, I left the hotel at 5 in the morning, and then I arrived home at around 5:45, 6 a.m. and then went to sleep, and then woke up at 9 a.m., took a shower, and then left home because I had an 11 a.m. gig. And
Wow.
then I have an 11 a.m. gig until 3 p.m. and then I have a 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. gig. So, but this is all in Dubai Mall. So, imagine where do I find the time to eat?
Exactly, exactly. Now, do you agree that many of the people, most of the people, they're not going to be successful because they don't want to miss family gatherings like anniversaries, birthdays, celebration of whatsoever in the family. So, do you agree
Mm.
that minsan yun yung that's the one thing that's stopping them from being successfully? I mean, just like what you said, na what happened to you na nakalimutan ko na sa sobrang gusto ko yung ginagawa ko, sobrang dami ng
Mm.
ginagawa ko, birthday ko pala, and I don't have time to celebrate my own birthday. So do you agree?
Not necessarily. It's really your choice, you know. Um, in my case, it's because I really love doing what I do. And when it's peak season, I grab all the opportunities and all the job that comes my way because that's the time that you get to save for the rainy days, you know.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying na parang okay, may birthday pa naman ako next year. I can still celebrate that. But for now, I'm gonna do this muna. Kumbaga, ang daming ginagawa, ang daming trabaho. This is a blessing for me, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna just grab the opportunity because I still have the time, 'di ba? So,
Yes.
minsan kasi parang ay hindi ako makakapunta, bro, kasi may ano si Mrs. may birthday, yung anak ko may ano. Alam mo yung ganun?
Yeah.
Yung it becomes a justification for them not to do those things that kailangan nilang gawin. Tama ba? 'Di ba?
Um, how do I explain it? I Because I don't have any other thing to do apart from work.
So ano 'to
I don't
talaga,
have
is it
so
safe to say na si Ella Orencillo is, a certified workaholic?
I mean I don't. I'd like to think I'm not, but I think I am because people tell me that I don't go out, and all I ever do is like either I stay at home or I go to work. And I think people will notice that I don't really have a social life, so I just work.
Social media na lang,
I
oh.
just
Social media life na lang.
Yeah, social media, yeah. But social life, I literally don't have any. So I just go to work. Either I am at home or I go to work. And my night out is literally still working as well. And that's my choice. And because I don't have family here, that's the thing as well. So I don't have birthdays to go to,
Right.
the birthday of a family member to go to here. And yeah. So, but if ever, of course, like there are occasions that I wouldn't let pass by. For example, my mother's birthday. Her birthday is May 12th, and every time we make it a point to go home, regardless if there is a job or not, I say no to that. I say no to the job because my
Ah,
mother is my priority. Yes.
ayun. So meron naman pala,
Yeah.
there's a thin line na parang,
Yes.
oh, teka sandali, si Ermats muna
Yeah.
bagong trabaho.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. uh, Before, like, manghihinayang kaya, 'di ba? Parang especially if it's like a dream project. Like I cannot say no to this project because it's a dream project, or it's a huge project. But then I realized that there are I think that's where my opinion goes in that like important people in your life, they should come first.
Right.
Because for me, um I don't consider myself successful. I mean, I'm still trying to make it in the scene.
It's
Um,
kumbaga,
but
it's a work in progress.
it's a work in progress. That's why I have an album on my Facebook account. It's called "I Am a Work in Progress" because it's always gonna be a work in progress. And every new thing is a learning process. You learn something new in everything that you do. Um, so, for example, even if it's a dream project, probably, but if it's a matter of between my family and a dream project, I'll still choose my family to be with my family
Right.
because if if it doesn't happen during the time that it's not gonna happen, that means it's not for me.
Ayun, sinasabi, 'pag
If
hindi
it's
para sa'yo, hindi para
yeah,
sa'yo. Oo.
yes,
'Pag para
yes.
sa'yo,
If it's
talagang ang
yes,
universe gagawa ng
if
paraan if it's really for you.
if it's yes, if the project is really for me, then there should be no complications anyway.
Follow questions. First pay 2,000 dirhams in a
Hello,
6-7 hour gig of
hello.
a mural. So okay, two questions. So
Yeah,
can you hear me now? Okay, two questions.
yes.
Okay, so yung una is kanina is 2,000 first gig. How lucrative is being an artist and an illustrator in Dubai, UAE?
Very lucrative, I may say, before the pandemic. I mean,
Well, of course. So, lahat naman talaga apektado.
yeah.
Maliit, malaki,
Oh,
lahat
yeah.
apektado. So how
Of
lucrative
course,
it
yeah.
is?
It's a very lucrative because Dubai is a new city compared to like probably Berlin or New York, yeah. So and the government is really supportive of the art scene here in Dubai, even in Abu Dhabi, because the government really uh finance all these art activities that they give to people, give to everyone here. And there's a lot of art events here and there, wherein it's supported by the government. There's a lot of yearly events supported by the government. And apart from that, customization is a really huge thing right now, not just in Dubai, but I think in all parts of the world. And um, I must say that it's a very lucrative industry in Dubai, art
Okay.
scene.
Now, without okay, yung 2,000 kanina, it's a good start.
Mhm.
Now, in one of the many, many, many gigs that you actually did in the past during your career, ano yung mataas? Like, give us like a more or less na parang yung isang ginawa ko, ganito, isang araw lang o dalawang araw lang, I get this amount of money. Para alam namin kung gaano karami pera mo.
No,
No, without
naubos
giving
na.
naubos na. Hindi, without giving specific amount, but like more or less ang isang gig na isa sa mga pinakamalalaking na client or work that you did as an artist, as an illustrator would be like around isang gig is papatak siya ng mga Hala siya. No, for because okay, why did I ask that? Because may mga
Yeah.
parents, may mga bata na drawing ka ng drawing, hindi ka mag-aral. And we don't know yet what's gonna happen to
Mm-hmm.
that kumbaga, that child, 'di ba? Like you, that person or that kid might end up just like you, 'di ba? Now
Mm-hmm.
I'm following an artist. I'm not pretty sure if you know I forgot the first name, yung KAWS, cos na yung
Yes.
mga dal niya pala is sabi ko
Mm.
kasi dati sabi ko, "Ano ba yun? Ba't parang ano, hindi ko maintindihan." And now the doll
Yung
is
X yung
completely.
mata.
Yes, 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 yes. So sabi ko, I've been following that on Instagram nowadays. Kasi sabi ko, iba pala yung value ng art na meron siya. And he started as a street artist, yung mga
Yes.
graffiti. Okay? In Manhattan, New York, in LA, I don't know, I'm not pretty sure. But so sabi ko, nag-accumulate pala after a year. Let's say binili mo ng 300,000, 400,000, maging 1 point something na siya, yung parang ganito lang katangkad na doll nung cost na yon. So
Mm-mm.
um so for the parents to actually alam mo yun, parang drawing ka ng drawing, kanina ka pa wala kang ginagawa, yung ballpen mo, yung mga coloring ano mo, inaaksaya mo lang, hindi ka mag-aral.
Mm-hmm.
So talking about being lucrative and making this as a career in
Mm-mm.
abroad, like
Mm-mm.
ano yung pwedeng like a more or less figure na kitain mo if you're one of the pioneer, one of the newbies, or kung medyo matagal ka na sa scene in Dubai.
Mm-hmm. Um, okay. Because it took me years to get to where I am
Sure,
right now. And then,
sure,
yeah.
sure.
And it took me like, let's say I started doing this 2000, I started getting paid doing what I do, say 2011. So, how many years that? 9, 10. So it took me that long, and I've been doing this for 21 years. I just realized, doing art for 21 years. But here in Dubai, so let's say I've been doing it for 10 years, and it's not an easy road as well to get to where I am at right now. I mean, I'm
Sure.
still trying to make a name and build, make
Your own
the
brand.
company grow. Yeah, make my own brand. But I was able to sustain the company all throughout the past 3 months. I mean, finance whatever my need is to be able to save enough money to travel, and live a pretty much comfortable life on my own.
Right.
Um, so I get a decent amount of money, but I don't do it on my own as well because I have a team of three or some 2 or 3 when I do murals, and so I have guys who works and helps me as well. Um, but okay, just to give, because I don't want to encourage people to do this just because there's money in it, because I
Exactly.
think that's,
Exactly.
yeah, because I don't think that's the right mindset to do
Right.
art just because there's money in it. I
Hmm.
wanna I want to encourage people to do art because they are passionate about what they do. Because if you are not passionate about what you do, the tendency is you will just do it out of money. But what if there's no more money in what you're doing? Then you are not no longer gonna do it. Then that's
Right.
not really
Right.
passion. That's not
Exactly.
really passion.
That's
Yeah.
money driven. Yeah.
So yes, that's money driven, um and you cannot do a business that you are not really passionate about. Otherwise, if the business um is not earning more money, then you will stop doing it because you're not getting any profit from it. So I think that it's very important for you to start art because it's really your passion, and then money will come in eventually. So I want parents to encourage their children to do art because their children likes it, not because they want to instill into their children, or they don't want their children to do it because there's no money or there's money in it. I
Hmm.
just want them to encourage their children because that's what their children wants, because that's how my mother raised me. I didn't even hear anything from her and don't do art because there's no money in it. She just
Hmm.
let me do whatever I want to do, and I think that's what keeps me motivated uh, because it's not that I want to prove her that there's money in it, but it's just that um I want to prove it to myself as well that if I really love what I do, then I can make a living out of it, which is what I'm doing now. So then if you start doing things out of passion, and then money will eventually come in. Like what I've mentioned, my first gig, like my first mural, I charge about 2,000 dirhams, yeah. And it's a huge wall, like not a small wall, but not very massive as well. So just to give people an idea, I sold a toy one time, like a 7-inch toy that I customized for 2,000 dirhams. And I also sold a painting. I rarely sell my paintings, but I sold one painting for 3,500 dirhams, and it's a 50 by 60 centimeter painting. So if you are thinking about money, money will be there like
Right.
um, later on, but not in the beginning. You know, in the beginning, I think, and like any other businesses, you have to spend time and money building it first before you earn a profit from it. You know.
Right. Fair enough. All right. Well, yeah, there you go. So it's really, really beautiful mindset that you have there. That's why, you are where you are right now, Ella. And of course, so let's talk about a little bit more about the 10 years. Sabi mo nga, no, it took you
Mm-hmm.
time to get where you are right now. Do you also get rejections? Do you also get people saying na, "Ay, hindi naman magaling yan. Ano lang yan eh. Ito lang yung mga art na." Hindi naman. Do you also get like, bashers, mga detractors, and how do you deal with that?
Hopefully, sana wala naman akong bashers and detractors. I mean, di- hindi naman ako artista para i-bash, di ba?
Oy, kahit sino ngayon, kahit regular na tao may basher.
Pe- Pero, I mean,
No, I mean
I
in
don't
in
want,
your line
I
of
don't want
career,
to get affected. Yeah.
meron na bang parang may gig sana kaso parang nakuha sa just because may nanira or parang ay bakit yan ang kinuha mo dapat ito na lang si ganito kasi hindi naman ano yan tsaka ano yan eh alam mo yung they say bad things about you, your work, your career. I mean,
Mm.
alam mo yun, parang hindi naman qualified yan bakit yan ang kinuha niyo. Was there any type of ganon during your 10-year career? Or do you get rejected or like the lowest point of your career as an artist?
Wala naman rejection so far. Of course, normal lang naman that you get asked for quotations, and then the quotation will not be approved. It's fine. And also, clients have an option to choose another artist. There's a lot of artists out there. I'm not the only one who's doing this. They always have an option of whose artist they want to go to, and I respect that as you know, as them being a client. Um, uh, but no rejection so far. But I have a very funny story to share with you.
Yeah, sige, gusto ko yan, gusto ko
Yeah,
yan.
it's not actually a rejection, but at one point, I was put in a position wherein I was asked by two clients to choose between the two of them. Like,
Oh.
mm,
So ikaw
yeah,
pa mamimili ngayon.
yeah.
Are they paying different amount of money or the same amount of money?
Same amount of money.
Ah,
Okay, I'm gonna drop some brand names. Is that okay?
okay, go ahead.
Okay. So this was during the Adidas gig last year. I got a huge Adidas gig. It's the release of the Home of Classics. I remember this very clearly because it was the last day was during my birthday. I was overworked at during that month, like, and then I remember before starting the gig. It started October, if I'm not mistaken, October 15 or 16. And I was working at Level Shoes as well. And I'm supposed to be there every single day. Or if I'm not there, I have to put someone in there to look after the booth. And then I didn't know that the Level Shoe, because there's going to be an Adidas activation at Level Shoes, and there's going to be an Adidas activation at the Adidas flagship store upstairs of Dubai Mall as well. And Level
Mhm.
Shoes is in Dubai Mall as well. And I was not aware that two different agencies are pitching me for Adidas.
Okay.
So Level Shoes, the marketing department of Level Shoes, pitched me to be the artist for the Adidas activation that's gonna happen on Level Shoes for 3 days. At the same time, another agency was hiring me to do the Adidas activation at Adidas store in Dubai Mall for, I think that was 10 days. So it's gonna be like 15, 16, 17, 3 days for level shoes, and then from 15 as well, and then the next 10 days for Adidas Bible. And then I said yes to Adidas because it's a dream project. It's a nice
Right.
brand. I would love to work for the brand. It's gonna be good for my brand.
Right.
But 2 days 2 days before the activation in level shoes, the marketing department spoke to me and they said that I'm gonna have to do the Adidas activation in level shoes. I was not aware of that. I was not aware that they were pitching me to Adidas directly. And then I
Mm.
said that I already said yes to Adidas Dubai Mall upstairs. And then they said no. Um, we already pitched you here that they're expecting you to be the artist here. I said I can put my assistant to be here and then work here. No, we want you to be here. It cannot be somebody else. It has to be you because we sent your profile and they like your profile, blah blah blah, like that. And at the same time, I said yes to Adidas, in Dubai Mall. And then I don't know what to do. And then they put me in one room.
So paano kasi parang pareho, okay, sabay. So paano
Yes,
nangyari?
yes. It's not my fault because first and foremost, I was not even aware that the other department is pitching me. And I told them about that. But at the same time, I don't want. At that time, I was not really speaking in front of them. I was like, I was just praying that I hope they change their mind and I hope they figure out that I I didn't want to be in this position. That I have to choose between two clients that's very dear to me, and Devil Shoes is my home. But to sum it all up, they end up sorting it out.
So bahala na kayo mag-usap diyan, basta ako kung saan niyo ako ilagay
No,
doon.
they spoke about it. They
Aha.
spoke about it, and then they agreed that for 3 days I'm gonna be at Level Shoes, and then for the rest of the days I'm gonna
Pinag
be at Adidas.
pinaghatian ka nila.
Yeah.
Wow, talking about in-demand Filipino artists in Dubai, UAE. I have here on the show for the third episode tonight of the Fort Project, where we talk about money, business, and life. That's Miss Ella Orencillo. We're going to be taking a short break, and we'll be coming right back with more. Thanks a lot. We're back on the show right here on the Fort Project, where we talk about money, business, and life right here on TNC. And now, speaking of which, we would like to again invite you guys to watch out for the world premiere of the new shows that's are gonna be coming up next or coming soon on the page, the marketplace. This will be on Thursday, the 15th or the 16th of July this month, 10 p.m. in Manila or Philippine time, the world premiere. Right, so that's the marketplace happening on TNC. So there's a couple of more, shows that's going to be happening right here. So that's a very really good news. The family of TNC is really growing, and we're back again with my guest for the third episode this evening on a beautiful Wednesday night. Ella Orencillo, artist and illustrator, Dubai based, right here in the UAE. Ella, you want to say hi to some people? Because I want to say hi to EJ San. EJ San, congratulations, Ella. Frankie Frank, hello, Ella and Bob. Bernadette Lacaras is watching, and of course, Jojo Gavino. Danilo Arizalda Jr.
Yeah.
Tinatanong daw niya kung tapos na. Hindi pa, dito pa siya.
He's my schoolmate in high school.
Talaga. All
He's
right.
my
So,
uh
any more shout outs? Go ahead.
I'd like to say Roger Bell is my aunt, the first one who commented, and I'd like to say to all hi to all my friends who's watching right now, and to Frankie, hello. I hope you're safe, and to EJ, thank you so much for watching, and to Danilo and everyone who's watching right now, and my mother is probably sleeping right now.
Mhm. Well, we have a lot of questions. We have a ton of questions for you, but
Mhm.
obviously with the time that's been given right here on the show, hopefully I can have you on the next season. But a couple of more questions before we wrap it up for
Sure.
tonight episode. So two things. Okay, you started the company back like how many years ago?
1 year, I
1 year
legally,
ago.
yeah, the
Okay,
company was licensed last year, July 9, so I just renewed my license last week.
and you're actually managing a team of how many people now?
I do everything on my own. But I have,
For now, at least for now.
yes, for now at least, because but I have like two regular part-timers that works with me whenever I have some neural projects.
Hmm. And then the last two question would be, what can you say for those people who have a passion to actually wanted to pursue? What can you say about that? And the last part is, what do you want people to remember you?
Keep the passion burning.
Yun talaga eh, no? Yun talaga siya eh, di ba?
Yes.
Kasi without passion,
Yeah.
sabi ko nga, ano, you're just gonna look at the money, and then when there's no money, you're gonna start. I mean, you're gonna quit and you're gonna stop, right? So
Mhm.
I like the last conversation that I had with you, that kailangan, may binanggit ka sa akin nun eh. There's actually two or
Three things that you
three
have
things that
to.
you
Yeah.
have to keep in mind if you're running a business, entrepreneur, or whatever. In you're
Mm-mm.
running your own show. What are those
Yeah.
three?
So I got that from my friend Lord Elisa, who's also one of my biggest influence. Why I started why I did this full time, because she's a full time artist as well that time. So you have to have at least two of these three things. I remember her telling me. If you remember, I
Right.
I told you about this as well 2 years ago. So
Exactly.
first, you have to be always on time. Mm. Second, you have to be really good at what you do. And then third, you have to be a likable or you have to be a very likable or a friendly person. You have to
So
have at
hindi
least
pwede nakasimangot lagi. Hindi pwede nakasimangot
I
lagi.
no, because especially with the thing is, with the kind of job that I do, it doesn't just require talent. It's not just that. People will not hire you just because you are good. People will not
Right.
hire you just because you are talented. even even though you are the most talented artist in Dubai, if you are not very pleasant to work with, I don't think people will hire you. Um, even if you are the if even if you are very that's why it's very important to have. I mean, now I'm trying to be like to have at least the three
All of them. Yeah.
those three characteristics. Yeah. I especially like because stereotypical, I mean, stereotype na sa ating mga Pilipino na lagi tayong late, 'di ba? So I
Right.
always
Right.
make it a point to not to be late.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I always make it a point not to be late. At least 15 minutes before the work, I need to be there, or at least, or the first day 1 hour, because you don't know what you're expecting of, or if there's any emergency that you have to attend to before you start your work. So I always make it a point to be on time, and it's also showing respect to the people who hired you, and then to whoever who's going to who are you going to meet. And even though I'm not the best in what I do, I always try to make it a point that what I'm doing is to the best of my ability at that time. Like for today, this is the best that I can do for this one. I may not be the best that's doing this as of the moment, but at least that's the best that I can do. I know that I did my best in doing one project. And also, um, you don't have to be a people pleaser, you know? The thing is, you just have to be who you naturally are for people to like you. So, not everybody will like you, of course. That's normal. But at least you know, at people will like you because they like who you really are, not
Right.
because you are trying to be someone else, you know.
Someone else. Right. So what are those three again? So let's just try to repeat those. So first thing is you have to
Be always on time, be really
be
good
always
at
on
what you
time.
do, huh? Be
And
really
be
good at
good at
what you
what
do,
you do. Try to be
and
likable.
be not to the point of like trying to please people that it
That's
looks so
different. Yeah,
fake,
that's a
you
whole
know.
different
Yeah,
story.
yeah, yeah,
All
yeah.
right. So, just like Danabel said, that you have to be uh, pleasant to be with or to work with
Pleasant, yeah, pleasant to
in
work with.
industry. Right, right, right. So,
Yeah. I
well, there you go. Yeah. Before I let you go tonight, because of because I have a lot of questions, but hopefully maybe next time. Okay. Any shows that you'd like to plug in? Any social media platform that you'd like to plug in where they can actually follow and reach you? Ella, address. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so you can find me at Level Shoes. I'm back at Level Shoes every Fridays and Sundays from 1 to 9 p.m. and every other Tuesday, but that's quite confusing. So I just tell every Friday and Sunday, 1 to 9 p.m.
All right. So, level shoot the trick
um,
every Friday.
Level Shoes, yeah, Level Shoes every Fridays and Sundays, 1 to 9 p.m. Level Shoes is in Dubai Mall, ground floor near the dinosaur.
Right. Now, if they wanted to get in touch with you, collaborate with you, get your service, where they can actually reach you, like email or social medias, would be fine.
Yes. They can send me a message, direct message on Instagram, which is at Ella Orencillo with underscore at the end, or at Craftology by Ella. I manage both accounts. I don't have a social media manager to do that for me yet.
So, ikaw muna, di ba?
Of
Isikap muna,
course, PA, manager, accountant, kahit
di
hindi
ba?
masyadong, ano, di ba, kahit hindi natin masyadong gusto ang numbers, except sa payment, mga ganyang bagay.
Exactly. Well, Ella, again, it's
Yeah.
nice to have you on the show. Thank you so
Thank you
much for
so much
being
for
here.
having me.
And all the best to all of us, and especially to your career, especially this pandemic crisis that we're still
Yeah.
having as of the moment. And
Yes.
hopefully, like I said, you're going to be here back on the second season. Maraming
Of
salamat.
course, no problem. Thank you so much, Bab, for having me.
All right, thank you. There you go. My third episode with Miss Ella Orencillo. And personally, guys, being a Filipino right here in Dubai, it's really proud to see a Filipino artist that's actually representing the country in the Dubai Mall, the biggest mall in the world or in the Middle East. I'm not pretty sure, but I think in the world, because we have the tallest, the biggest, the longest right here in Dubai, UAE. Now, before we wrap it up for today, tonight, I'd like to say hello to the beautiful people of the Puzzle Box. For this has been presented to us by Puzzle Box. Thank you so much. Sponsored by the Manila Times. Thank you so much. And of course, Step Back. Also, hello to Philippine Association of Professional Speakers for making this show possible. And I'll see you guys maybe on the next episode. This is the Ford Project, where we talk about money, business, and life, hosted by Bob right here tonight on TNC. Good night.